Now, moving on to someone else who may have needed love and light and we didn't even know about it. Grace. Formerly a TV host on one of the local stations. Her name is Grace Ekirapa. I always just mispronounce that. Grace Ekirapa, who is now Pascal Tokodi, another name I mispronounce, their wife, right? They have this beautiful daughter. We've seen her. She is so chunky and so you just want to nibble her and you're like, love it. She is so cute. However, the cuteness came in bundles, and unfortunately, the body of the mother was not ready for it from what we're seeing. So Ekipara has decided to give us a story about her breastfeeding, and this comes off of the leg of it was breastfeeding month. Was it breastfeeding day? It was breastfeeding month, and people were celebrating women and the breastfeeders. What are they called now? There's a name for it. There's a woke name for it, which is very problematic on its own. Anyway, so Grace was talking about her breastfeeding journey, and it was not an easy one. Apparently, she came off the hospital, and unfortunately, when she was trying to breastfeed her child, not only were her nipples cracking, well, her areolas cracking, she was also in a lot of pain, and barely any milk was coming out of her. So she's over there really trying to breastfeed her child, really trying to be there. You know what it is, the image of mothers and children on their tits. It's kind of just the image that is ingrained in all of us. Like when you have a child, you want to breastfeed them because this is what you've been shown, this is what you know, this is what is known to be the best way of feeding your own child. So imagine how impossibly difficult it is for you to try and provide food for your own child through your own body, and your body is just like, I don't want to do this. Not today, ma'am.
I'm not ready
today. And unfortunately, after all this struggle, apparently she couldn't even produce like 20 milliliters of milk, which is like a very little milk. She really just could not do it. Her body was just like, nah, can't do it. And so the worst came to worst when she actually started experiencing a lot of pain in her breast area. And when she went to hospital, she found out she had mastitis, which is another super painful process from what I've seen with breastfeeding mothers. It is like
I just had chills.
Super painful. I'm just imagining the kind of pain that you have when you're going through the time of the month and your nipples are burning. Now I'm imagining mastitis, and now you're cracked. It's a lot going on. And so she says that during this process, she kind of just went into her spiritual, and she prayed that the gods may help her at least be able to provide food for her child. And apparently when it rains, it pours. It got to a point where now she's just like producing milk off the wazoo. She's outside on Sunday and she has to go and buy a new shirt because she's leaked on her shirt. She has to carry a pump all the time. One time apparently she forgot her breast pump and she had to, physically
I've been
manually pump it. It's okay, motherhood is a
and it
hood.
happened at the most inconvenient times.
Motherhood is a hood.
I was at a photo shoot.
Oh my God.
And then the photographer is like, why is one side big? I'm like, sir, I'm in pain. They had to give me like 10 minutes to go and manually express
my God,
like a cow. I felt like a cow.
It's just so interesting. So anyway, her story is one of beauty and pain, because she got this beautiful child. She couldn't feed the child, and now she has way too much. She just has to constantly feed the child and express and all of these things. So it was a beautiful story to hear. And you're telling us you're at a photo shoot and one tit is like all the way over here, the other one is gone.
Because I told myself that morning, you know what, I'll be okay. This photo, it'll be like all of 2 hours. I'll be back home in time. Not factoring in that we are Kenyans. And as Kenyans, we're just always late for anything. So 2 hours turns into 4 hours, turns into 6 hours, turns into the whole day. So by the end of this photo shoot, I am in pain. I'm just like, I need to do something. I really need to get rid of this milk. So it's like, what? Give me a minute. And I remember being in the bathroom just expressing milk.
Like you're just
and hoping that nobody walks in.
Because what I've seen.
Here I am being a cow, just expressing milk.
Oh my God.
And the relief I felt afterwards. I was like, let's do this photo shoot all night because now I'm okay.
You're done.
Now I'm good.
You're ready
It's like
to go.
needing to pee and then you finally pee.
Oh,
like,
God.
yeah, I'm good now. But I do understand her, you know, having a difficult time initially because mine also didn't come immediately. You know how, especially when at the hospital, there's this mom who gave birth and immediately she was overflowing. She was feeding her child. I was like, wow, that's nice. And then me, I'm like, Daktari, mine is not doing it. It's not coming out. There's nothing happening.
The cow has refused.
The cow has refused. And I remember this nurse being so aggressive with me.
They always
She was
are.
like, apana, unafaa kufinya hivi. And I was like, what?
Chow.
Wait a minute.
This
wait,
is a body.
Wait a minute.
This is skin.
And I remember being in so much pain. I'm a first time mom. I am scared. It is 3 a.m. in a hospital ward. It was so traumatizing.
Gosh.
But eventually it did come and it came in plenty and I'm grateful for that. But it did not help how the relatives and the old aunties would come to my house and say, you're not producing enough milk because you're not eating enough, you know? There's always that thing where you're thinking, I'm doing my best, you know? I'm trying to be the best mom I can be. This is a new experience. So how dare you come and invalidate all my efforts?
Imagine.
You know, I've been drinking warm water since morning, warm tea, warm everything, so that I can get enough milk. And then here you are like, what a slay queen, how kuli mokimo. And you know very well, you can't eat heavy foods because you're healing down there, especially if you had the episiotomy, the cut.
Oh,
so obviously you can't have very heavy number twos. Okay?
Everything about giving birth is just like
It's
not for me. Yes, it's not for me. It's not. I can't do it.
Would I do it the second time? Only if it was an accident.
And that is
On purpose?
accidentally on purpose. Getting pregnant again. Gosh, I can't.
Because I'm still traumatized to date.
Those are scars, babes.
It's very traumatizing. And I had a support system. So now imagine somebody who does not have a support system. Somebody who's constantly feeling like they're not doing enough for their child.
So you're healing scars and then now your nipples are bleeding and cracked and you can't find relief. And then your child is screaming at you. They don't want you to touch them. And then everyone is like, hukuli. My God, me, I will pull my hair. I will walk out of all of you people. Wow. Are you mad?
You have a child who's not staying quiet.
No, you know what? I will walk out.
They trick you. They really trick you. The first few days, you're like,
Very quiet. They can't see
mtoto
anything.
wangu is calm like the mommy. Oh, hananga stress. Wow, the ghetto.
What was your experience as a first-time mom? Did you expel milk easily, or did you have to suffer like many of my friends who have had to suffer? I'm telling you, there's no one who's had a nice breastfeeding story. It's all just scary. Have you had a nice experience? Let us know, 0770-729-366. And again, as we come to the end of the month, happy breastfeeding month to all the breastfeeding mamas. Okay.